Hey guys, what's up? Chris here with Cohesive Friendship Unit, just me today. Guys, we recorded literally 2 episodes like hours before the Nintendo Switch Mini was announced, so I wasn't able to round everyone up for another get-go, but we are going to be talking all about the Nintendo Switch Mini, if it's a good idea, bad idea. It's been long rumored, who it's for, and what the future of the Switch kind of entails from here on out. But real quick, before we get started on that, we are doing a giveaway for a copy of Yooka-Laylee. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel. We're giving that away at 700 subs. If we're already at 700 subs, consider checking out our channel homepage. That's usually where we have our next giveaway, and almost always all you have to do is be subscribed. So we'd appreciate your support. Alright guys, Nintendo Switch Mini. It is a colorful, small Nintendo Switch. And that's about really it, with a couple caveats. There is a D-pad now, for example. The screen is definitely smaller, and it is a dedicated handheld, meaning it cannot be docked. It also looks like they 100% ditched the kickstand, which kind of asked a few other questions. Not 110% sure on that kickstand, but all the renders seem to make it look like there is no kickstand. So this is going to be launching in September for $200. Now that we've gotten that all out of the way, let's talk kind of briefly on if this is a good idea, right? So Nintendo actually came out of the gate swinging, and they specifically called this a dedicated handheld a number of times in their little presentation. And that's interesting because now we have, everyone was like, oh, handheld gaming's dead, thanks to the PS Vita. The 3DS did great, but not as great. Now we have this hybrid system. Why would we ever want a dedicated handheld? Well, I don't know how good of an idea this is. And that's because I really think docking would have been nice. Like, make the Switch Mini, make the Joy-Con fused, eliminate the HD rumble, eliminate the IR sensor, all that expensive stuff, but still allow it to be docked. Don't sell it with a dock, but allow the consumer to buy a dock and use the dock for a number of reasons. One, it's at odds with what the Switch is. This is a Nintendo Switch that cannot switch, so it's a little confusing to the audience. And two, it really is like a USB-C cable. Like, they could have done it. Obviously they could have done it, but it would have been a nice idea to do it. I wonder if this is like a modified processor, so that's another way to save cost that they maybe didn't discuss. But I just feel like that's a huge missed opportunity because, for one, that would allow Nintendo to sell more stuff. If you buy a Switch Mini and later down the line you decide you want to play on your TV, well, then you buy a dock and you buy a Pro Controller. That's 2 accessory sales on top of the Switch Mini. I don't know. It's a shame because they could have done it easily. But next, I kind of want to talk about some positives on it. It does look solid. Like, it looks like a decent piece, with the exception of the missing kickstand. And yeah, I mean, the D-pad edition's great, and now we basically know for sure there's almost definitely going to be an official D-pad Joy-Con coming out in the nearish future, I would assume. But it's a little upsetting to see the kickstand going away because, again, part of the Switch's like ethos, part of like what makes the Switch is they're always pushing multiplayer. They always advertise having multiplayer and quick and easy multiplayer and couch multiplayer. And this is, I mean, it's not eliminated, but it's, one, severely hindered by the absence of detachable Joy-Con, which I understand for the purposes of cutting down cost. And yeah, now people are going to have their own Joy-Con or bring their own Pro Controller. But on top of that, now we don't have a kickstand. So that's going to make things even harder. And on top of that, the screen is smaller, and it was already basically impossible to play split-screen multiplayer stuff on the portable Switch in tabletop mode. It wasn't impossible, but certain games just didn't work. Basically, Smash was probably one of the better games that you could play multiplayer because everyone shares the same screen. But this is a little upsetting. The kickstand makes it very hard now. You're going to have to come up with some like janky solution, or And on top of that, you're gonna have to have multiple sets of controllers because you can't detach these Joy-Con. So if you want to play with two people, you're gonna have to have a set of controllers for two people, be that just one set of Joy-Con or two separate Pro controllers or whatever. But I don't know, that's a little disappointing, at least to me. But let's switch on to a couple of interesting ideas, like who this is for and what it means for the future of the Switch. I think the price is pretty solid, honestly, and even though I'm a little disappointed in some of the compromises they had to make, like I feel like a kickstand, they could have thrown that in. But even despite these compromises, the price is really solid. I mean, this reminds me a lot of the 2DS, where like Jeremy on Cohesive Friendship Unit, he basically just wanted to play Pokemon. He wanted to play the new Pokemon. We saw the X and Y trailer, and we're both like, wow, we need to play this. And the cheap as hell 2DS was the golden ticket in. I think that Black Friday they were like 99 bucks. And that's, I mean, you can already see there's the Nintendo Switch Lite Pokemon edition that you can get on 11/8. That already speaks to who this is for. Animal Crossing is coming in March. Pokemon is coming right around the corner in November. And that's who this is for. It's for people who basically want a Pokemon machine or an Animal Crossing machine, because there are plenty of people who buy systems solely for that. And then there's obviously the budget case. And the last thing I want to talk about is the future for a Nintendo Switch. I had this, like, I'm not going to call it a radical idea, but different idea, basically back when the Switch started, which was the Switch will essentially end up becoming Nintendo's next handheld. Everyone was like, whoa, what's Nintendo's future? And I was always thinking the Switch will come out as a weak home console, but eventually become their next handheld and slowly slide into the next gen. And I still believe that's what could happen. I think, you know, over time, when the Switch 2 comes out, this will become their handheld system, the Nintendo Switch Lite. And I think this is kind of the beginning of that transition. And I will just say, it is basically a dream. Think of the upgrade from the Nintendo 3DS to this. It's insane. But yeah, so there's some pros, there's some cons. There's some joys, there's some cons. But those are kind of my first thoughts. It's an interesting device, much like almost everything they put out. Let me know what you guys think down below. Are you looking to pick one up? Are you looking to pick it up for Pokemon or Animal Crossing? Let me know down below. That's all from me, guys. I'll catch you next time.